Lacerta, the day she stepped into the light to tell the world her story, a fictional narrative inspired by the Lacerta legend. This account unfolds after the meeting with EF at his remote woodland cabin, a place far from cities, far from crowds, and far from the certainty of what humanity believes it knows. This is a reconstruction of the day Lacerta meets Ol'K for the first time. It is presented by space, the final frontier above and beyond. An open-minded channel dedicated to exploring the unknown, questioning the unexplained, and journeying into the spaces where science, legend, and imagination intersect. What you are about to hear is not history, not sworn testimony, and not confirmation of any hidden truth. It is a story, a speculative narrative, a reflection of what we think Lacerta may have felt while standing at the edge of revelation, where secrecy collides with curiosity, and fear meets the possibility of understanding. It explores the emotions, doubts, and dangers of first contact, not as an event, but as a moment. It is in no way part of the original Lacerta Files, and is our idea of how her day may have gone. We encourage you to read or watch the Lacerta Files in their original format for context. We have full unedited files on this channel for your convenience. This story is for entertainment only and not meant for any other purpose. So once again, we invite you to journey with us down the rabbit hole of the unknown. As always, listen, reflect, and decide for yourself. What if some legends are not meant to be believed, but remembered?
I am Lacerta, a female of the original reptilian clans of Earth, a lineage older than recorded history, a people remembered only in fragments, symbols, and myths, and deliberately forgotten by most. And today, I prepare to risk everything. Not through war, not through conquest, but through a single choice to speak. Today, I will meet Ol'K, a human reporter, at EF's cabin, far from cities, cameras, and the protection of crowds. To humans, it will be called an interview, a conversation, a story meant for public consumption. To my people, it is something far more dangerous. Within my clan, the response has been divided. Some believe this moment has been approaching for generations, that humanity is finally reaching a point where it can remember what it once knew, that the old fears are weakening, that curiosity is beginning to outweigh hostility. They see this as a narrow opening in time, one that may never come again. Others believe this is a grave mistake. They remember the past. They remember what happened the last time we stepped out of the shadows and into the open world of humans. We have lost members of our clan before, not in war, not on battlefields, but in moments of panic, lost to frightened humans who believed they were facing monsters, demons, or invaders, rather than neighbors who had shared this planet far longer than they knew. Not all first contacts end in understanding. Some end in terror. Some end in bloodshed. There are those among us who believe this meeting is a trap, that I will be taken, contained, interrogated, that my presence will be used to force secrets from me, the locations of our cities, our tunnels, our remaining strongholds. They fear this information will be used as leverage to provoke a conflict meant to erase us from this planet. That one revealed truth will lead to another, until silence is no longer an option and conflict becomes inevitable. Others fear a different outcome altogether. They fear that humans will not seek peace, but advantage, that they will want our knowledge, our technology, even our biology, not to understand us, not for peace, but for power and profit. They believe we will be used to help them dominate one another, to monetize what was never meant to be owned, Human history has taught my clan caution. This is the risk I carry with me to the cabin. I have taken precautions, more than most of my kind would consider acceptable. General Nagash himself authorized my protection, a decision that carries weight among our clan. He assigned 3 of his finest contact specialists, warriors trained not for conquest, but for restraint. They are masters of observation, extraction, and silence. They move without sound. They leave without a trace. If the moment comes, they can remove me from danger before a human heart has time to panic. No human will ever see them. They departed hours earlier, slipping into the upper world beneath the cover of darkness. Their mission was simple and absolute: secure the perimeter around the cabin, search for traps, scan for surveillance, identify unfamiliar signatures, human or otherwise. If danger waits for me there, they will know long before I arrive. As I prepare to leave, my mother stands behind me, adjusting the straps of my pack. Her movements are careful, almost ritualistic, as if precision alone might keep me safe. She says nothing. She does not need to. Her worry fills the room, heavy, unspoken, impossible to ignore. She remembers the stories we all do. One of our ancestors vanished many cycles ago during what should have been a routine reconnaissance near the human settlements by the lake. No alarms were triggered, no distress signal was sent. Search teams found nothing, no body, no evidence, only absence. That kind of disappearance leaves wounds that never close. My father steps forward. He does not speak either. Instead, he reaches beneath his collar and removes the metal disc he has worn for as long as I can remember, a relic from the Scalarian War. He received it the day he was wounded in the underground conflict against the Scalarian death soldiers. He has never taken it off, not once, until now. He places it in my palm and closes my fingers around it. For protection, for remembrance, for luck. The metal is warm from his skin, heavy with history. It carries survival etched into its surface, proof that even the darkest wars can be endured. It means more to me than words could ever convey. I bow my head in acknowledgement. This is no longer just my risk. It is theirs, too. I enter the elevator to the surface. Behind me, a small group gathers to send me off on my mission. Family, warriors, elders who remember older cycles, scouts who know the cost of curiosity, those who have seen what happens when secrecy fails. This is our tradition. Not because we expect death, but because we respect the possibility of never returning. Among my people, departures matter. Once you cross into the upper world, outcomes are no longer controlled by preparation alone. Chance becomes a variable. Fear becomes contagious. And history has taught us that even the smallest miscalculation can echo for generations. As the doors begin to close, I turn. I meet their eyes one last time. There are no speeches, no gestures of reassurance, just shared understanding, a silent exchange that says what words cannot. The doors seal with a soft hiss. The elevator shudders, then begins its ascent. My familiar world begins to fade beneath me, replaced by thinner air, shifting pressure. Time stretches in those moments. I steady my breathing. I feel the weight of my father's metal in my pack. a reminder that survival is not luck alone, but memory carried forward. Then the ascent ends. The doors open, light spills in, raw, unfiltered, too bright at first. I step out into the upper world. The sky above feels vast, open in a way the depths of my world never are. Wind brushes against my skin, carrying scents of water, soil, and unfamiliar life. The surface team is already waiting. They do not reveal themselves fully. They never do. Their report is brief, efficient, controlled. The area appears clear. No traps detected. No unfamiliar technology. No anomalous signatures. Approval granted. We move now. And with that single decision, the final threshold is crossed. From preparation into consequence, from secrecy into history in the making. Whatever awaits us now, it lies ahead. We activate our mimic protocols, appearing as 4 young human hikers enjoying a quiet day in the forest. Our illusions are quickly tested as we pass another group of hikers on the trail. We act casual. They are unaware of our true identity and pass close enough to touch. They greet us with a smile and continue on. After walking for about an hour, I begin to feel more comfortable, and I take a moment to appreciate the beauty of the day. The sunlight warms my skin. The wind carries the scent of water and pine. It has been a few cycles since I walked openly on the surface. I am reminded just how much I love the surface. One of my escorts quietly notes that we are not alone. Vashto, the old protector bear, follows at a distance, ready to fight. 2 deer move silently through the trees beside us. They are our early warning alarm. They are always first to notice any danger, alerting us to take measures. The animals are our friends. They have always known us. We skirt the edge of the lake, keeping just inside the tree line where shadow and cover still belong to us. From here, the cabin remains in sight, a simple structure of wood and angles, unremarkable to human eyes, yet heavy with consequence to mine. Every step is measured, not merely placed, but calculated. Weight distributed, ground tested, rhythm controlled. The forest speaks constantly, and we listen to it all. A snapped twig, the shift of gravel beneath a boot, the distant call of something that should not be disturbed. Every sound is evaluated, every movement compared against what should be there and what should not. Time stretches under caution. What would be a brief walk for humans becomes a slow advance for us. We stop. We wait. We observe. We move again. 2 human hours pass this way, not wasted, but invested in survival, before we finally reach the clearing. The cabin sits exactly where it should. Still, quiet, waiting. My protection team fades back into the forest, dissolving into shadow and undergrowth. They do not retreat. They reposition. Eyes everywhere, angles covered, paths mapped for extraction if needed. Unseen, but ready. If something goes wrong, I will not be alone, though to human eyes, I will appear to be. I step forward until I am standing before the door. For a brief moment, everything stops. I think about turning away. I think about fear mistaken for truth, about hands raised in panic instead of greeting. What if I am wrong about humans? What if curiosity gives way to violence, as it has before? The door does not move. The forest does not answer. Then I steady myself. I raise my hand, and I knock. The cabin door creaks open slowly. Warm light spills outward, cutting a soft path through the cool air between us. EF stands in the doorway. I am pleased to see he is smiling, calm, familiar, exactly as I remember him. There is no hesitation in his posture, no fear in his eyes, only recognition, only trust. He steps aside and gestures for me to enter, welcoming me into the shelter of his home as if this were an ordinary meeting between ordinary people. It is not. The cabin is warmed by a steady, crackling fire. The scent of burning wood hangs in the air, layered with old books, earth, and time. Ol'K rises from his seat as I enter. EF introduces us with a casual ease that belies the weight of the moment, his voice steady, as if unaware that history itself has paused. Ol'K steps forward, extending a hand, his expression professional but alert. The reporter studies me carefully. To him, I am only a young woman standing before him, human in form and harmless. He does not see me because I am mimicked. He does not feel how thin this veil truly is between us, what he believes and what is about to be revealed. Oh, how fragile this moment is. I take a slow breath, grounding myself. I am aware that everything my people have stayed hidden for centuries is now hanging in the balances of my next few words. This is it. One conversation, one story, one step out of the shadows. Whether this moment becomes the beginning of understanding or a reminder of why we hid for so long, that choice no longer belongs to me alone. I let the silence stretch just long enough to matter. Then I reveal my true identity. He is curious, and in that instant, I know the story has truly begun.
Earth's storied history is vast beyond comprehension. Science tells us this planet is nearly 4.5 billion years old. Yet everything we call human history occupies only the final moments of that immense timeline. A blink measured against geological time. Most of what came before us is gone, eroded by time, buried beneath layers of earth, forgotten by history. Time does not preserve truth, it reshapes it. And yet, every so often, something slips through the cracks. In rare moments, we are offered brief glimpses of the past that challenge what we believe should be possible. Artifacts that, according to conventional timelines, should not exist. One such example is the Antikythera mechanism, a complex gear-driven device discovered in an ancient shipwreck dated to over 2,000 years ago. Scholars now recognize it as an advanced astronomical calculator. Some have even called it the world's first analog computer, a level of mechanical sophistication far beyond the capabilities of that era. So, where did it come from? Its very existence raises an uncomfortable question. If this technology was not supposed to exist then, where did it come from? And perhaps more importantly, what else once existed, only to be lost to time? Some cultures only pass down their history through verbal communications. Generations could be lost. Sometimes the past whispers. Objects refuse to fit the story timeline we thought we understood. After all, we were not there to witness the first civilizations rise or fall. We were not there for the ages before language, before writing, before memory could be recorded. And because of that, we must be honest with ourselves. We do not truly know everything. I submit to you these final thoughts. There is not any proof that stories like this have ever played out before, at least that we are allowed to be aware of. History has a way of repeating itself, many times, perhaps in cycles, sometimes lost to extinction and cataclysm, leaving only breadcrumbs for the open-minded to find. And maybe just perhaps even now, unfolding quietly alongside our own lives, unseen and unacknowledged. History, after all, is written by those who are seen, and not everything that exists chooses visibility. Some truths survive not in documents, photographs, or official records, but in whispers, legends, instincts, and the strange feeling that something has been forgotten rather than disproven. These are the stories that live not in certainty, but in possibility. in the unanswered spaces between what we think we know and what we have never thought to question. This story is fictional entertainment, inspired by legend, speculation, and imagination. It is not part of the original Lacerta Files. Thank you for watching Space: The Final Frontier, Above and Beyond, an open-minded channel where we explore the boundaries between what is known and what lies just beyond the known. As always, you decide, myth, metaphor, or something waiting to be remembered. If you enjoyed this journey, feel free to like, subscribe, and above all else, keep on being curious.